Welcome back. Got a part 2 video on the Impala. Getting stuff ready for power tour. We're like 126 days away. Who's counting? But we got a lot of stuff to do. Remember our list? Yeah, our list is right there. And part of that list is going to get done today, so let's get into it. So as you remember, we went through, did LEDs inside there, we left it, and we left the dash obviously ripped apart. Well, tachometer that I ordered came in, just a little guy, and we're gonna put it in there. So today's video, we're gonna go ahead and get our PCM, ECU, whatever. We're gonna get a new wire ran, and then I'm gonna debate on maybe changing out that radio. I got another one on the shelf over there. That one's more Bluetooth compatible, newer. This one, I got to plug in my thing to my phone, but this one's got navigation. That one doesn't, so I don't know. Figure that out later. But we got to get the Tach installed. Also, my mini oil catch can. That showed up. That's good. So I'll at least get those two knocked out here right now. So before we get too far into this, have you guys subscribed to the OTG Mechanic yet? Down in Georgia? Here's his page. Check him out. He's got a lot of stuff if you like Impalas. He builds quite a bit of stuff, and I learned a lot from him, including how to do this. He does it on a Dakota Digital. We're not doing Dakota Digital, we're doing analog style, but he's got a lot of good content. Go check him out. So here's the sweet Tach, and I honestly just went to Amazon, typed in tachometer 2-inch or something like that, filtered by price, and we got the cheapest possible one we could get, because why not? Black face, so that'll match. Actually look pretty decent inside there. Let's see what kind of instructions do we have with this thing. Oh, things like that. Okay, installation instructions. Pretty basic. Wire harness and the Tach itself. Okay. So I hope you can read that. You know. Step. Oh, flip it over. Anyways. So right there is the instructions for the tachometer gauge. You got black that goes to the battery, negative. You got green that goes to the coil, distributor. And then you got a red that goes to the positive, which is a keyed ignition source. It's pretty simple. Those are for the other gauges. Good enough. So, let's pull this out of the box. Okay, we got our 3 wires. Perfect. We're gonna need those where we're going. And then, how do you come out of the box? Something like freaking box. Well, don't destroy the box, because we're gonna need that here in a second. Okay, I got it out. It was a little ring thing. It's okay. So you can see at the back, it's got selection for 4, 6, or 8 cylinders. It's a high performance Tach, and I can tell you that because of the way that it is. Anyways, pretty small, compact. It's exactly what I wanted. Save that because we're going to use that for a template. But if we go back into our in here, as I was mentioning in that last video, we got plenty of space in here to kind of mount it where we want it to be. So what I'm going to do is find my oh, it's over there, my bezel piece right here, and we'll just figure out where we want it to sit in there. Should be good. As I mentioned, we'll use that piece cardboard for a template to cut this out, and we'll be good. So I just took that template, black marker, laid it over there, drew a circle. Now we'll zip it out how we want to zip it out. So when I cut these out, I'll do a bunch of circles. You can use a drill bit. I like to use a step down bit. Just work my way around on the inside. Then you can step it down a little bit, get closer and closer, and eventually this will pop out. And then you just trim it up with a razor blade or something to clean it up, and good to go. I've been giving it to her. Dremel. Got her to slip in there finally. Just take your time. Work it, because it'll overshoot and you'll be PO'd that you overshot. So just take your time. Okay, there we go. Nice and flush. She's in there. Could have cut a little bit better in there, but you know, that's not looking bad. So let's get this installed and hook her up. Well, I did have to modify that. I had to cut this little chunk out because it was like that. Being that the backside of that clip was kind of close, that's all right. It sits in there now and she'll look all right. So call that good. Three of you by now might be wondering, well, how are you going to wire up this to that? It's a good question. Well, there's a couple ways to do it. First, when you get your harness, you got the ground, which is the black one, the red, which is a keyed source for on, off, and then you got the green one. The green one's got to go somewhere, and you got to get that signal from somewhere. Now you got two options. First, you can hook it up to the coil, which is coil wire right down in there. You can hook it up to the coil wire. That's a standard tack. That's what the directions told us to do. We can do that. Or, second thing, you could hook it up to the computer tack signal and put a pin in and be all cool, run it so it's hidden so you won't see it, run it up into your dash. The only problem with that is you're not going to get enough voltages to operate like an autometer style tackle we got. That's only usually the case if you're going to run like digital, gauge cluster GM style stuff, because that's where it gets its tack signal from. So solution being either tap into your coil, or you can hook up the tack signal from the PCM, but then you got to do a little bit of some modifications. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get yourself a resistor. You're going to want to get a 1/4 watt or 1/2 watt resistor. And you can figure that out from the stripings on them, what they are. So you take a keyed source, 12 volt, run it through the resistor, and then directly hook it up to the signal that you're sending from your PCM to your tack. And what that's going to do is it's basically going to boost that 1/2 watt or 1/4 watts, just enough to make your tack work right, upping the signal strength, and you're good to go there. So if you've never played with resistors, usually they're common in LEDs to resist the power from 12 volts to a lower source, let's say. And right here we got our little setup going on with our float charger. So if I were to take this and float charge, test this to let me set you up. Let me set you up here so you can see it. If we touch our one side of the resistor here, we're going to see we got 14 volts on it. But if we go to the other side of the resistor where the LED is, you can see it's putting out, if I can touch it again. Come on. There we go. You see it's putting out 2.9 volts or whatever. So the resistor is resisting power, dropping it down to a safe level to not explode the LED here. Now, of course, that 2.9 V's is not going to be sufficient enough resistor for what we need to use on this, so I gotta go find one that works or order some. So if you need to go hunting for resistors and you don't know where to look, if you got light bulbs, you got some in there. These are probably going to be too high of a resistor for what we need. Dropping it down from 120 to 60 watts. It's not going to work with what we need. But if you're like me, you got tons of junk laying around. What else do you got laying around that might have resistors in them? I don't know. Old TV remotes? Let's go find one. Well, no luck on any spare remotes. I did find old car charger and tested it out. We got 5Vs on it. It ain't gonna work. Also, found another LED from my thing of LEDs I got here. And let me show you that. That's got a couple resistors on it, but it don't do the resisting down to what we need it to resist to thing. Or whatever. So I did the right thing and just ordered up $3 worth of them off eBay, Amazon, something. But they're going to be here in a week. But it's not going to stop me from still hooking this thing up. If it works, it works. If not, then we'll just put the resistor in when it gets here. So let's pull the suck box off and get into the PCM. So now what we're fishing for in here is PCM, red connector, pin number 13. We basically got to plug a pin into it, plug it back in, run it to our harness up to the dash, and then we'll have tach signal. All right, so red connector's pulled apart. You can see we don't have on 13 there, right there. We ain't got no wire, so we got to put one in. So let's go ahead and put one in. Okay, I had a bunch of wires with pins on them laying around for my LS swap, so I just pinned in that one, put it all back together. I'm gonna zip tie it up. I'm gonna get it in the loom so it looks a little cleaner and it's not janky. And we'll just run it through this loom back here all the way up to the firewall and then plumb it in there somewhere. But it's kind of nice having extra pins laying around, so hang on to them. Okay, just my luck. Of course, that gauge didn't work, so on to installing that the oil catch can. Okay, well, here it is. Compact, just what I was hoping for. Struggling to get it out there. But now we got to figure out, come on, focus. Where do we want to put it? Do we want to put it like somewhere right there? Do I want to mount it up front out of the way? Right here? I don't know. Yeah, I think about that. What else did we get in the package though? Looks like some fittings. Some poorly made rubber line. SOS pad. So, I guess let's figure out what we're gonna do with this, and then we're gonna use some AN line and make it so it's not this stuff, because that'll melt. Well, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. That's what we did. Went with the old style check valve there. Some line up to the catch can and into there, and then just put that vent on there. It's solid. I mean, it'll work. The other option will be the out, run it back, and then run it into the side of the intake. I just don't want to suck anything in, so we're going to do that. The goal here, obviously, is to just not have it leak out oil onto the headers and down to the car. So maybe that will take care of that. Probably will end up replacing that grommet because it's kind of gross, but we'll figure that out. But that's it for right now. Okay, well, let me show you where I'm at on this tach because it's been a hot minute. So as you can see, it's not the same tach that it once was. It's a different one. The one that I had didn't work. Had to send it back, ordered another one. Still a little 2-inch black one, pretty decent, fits in there. Have it just sitting in there. I plumbed it up to, of course, my radio harness for illumination and for 12-volt source for ignition. And as you can see, turn the headlights on and it comes on. And this changes colors, so that's kind of nice. But we go to fire it up. Does a sweep. And look at there. She's working. Give her a little ripums. Good. Now the only thing I don't like is how it's not lit up when the headlights aren't on, but that's an easy connect two wires together. So maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna think on it. I gotta go get some dinner. All right, I got that wire spliced back together, and now it comes up. And this thing has a calibration in the back to go from 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder. You just kind of push and hold it, and it goes up to where it's at. It's at 8 now. And you just click it, and it goes to wherever. So it'd be 10, 12, 13, 14, whatever. So we got a V8. So I'm guessing that's where it goes. And you can see the RPMs are much more better on where they're supposed to be versus the 2000, because it was set at 4-banger there. So that sounds a little bit more accurate. So I'm gonna let this thing run for a minute, and then I'm going to start putting the dashboard back together, make sure it's put back together. Okay, it's all back together, and that's the view from my seat. Comes on, does its thing. Perfect. So I'll leave a link in the description for that if you guys want to pick that one up. I also sell air fuel mixtures. You may want to put another one over here. I don't know. Do it up. Well, let's see. We got that done. That's officially done now. I thought we had Tach on there. Tach. Done. So that's going to do it for this one. We got the oil catch can. Got the dash all ripped apart, put back together, Tach installed. Making headway. We got progress. Look what showed up. I got my shockulators. They showed up. Cool. So gonna be working on that next. And I got a surprise for you guys. So you're not gonna want to miss that. So thanks everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment below. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Hit 900. We're on our way to 1,000. Got a special announcement with that too coming up here very soon. Thanks everyone. We'll see you later.